manslaughter. He would serve less than a year behind bars. The movie Fruitvale Station was made about the incident. Lucia McBath would lose her son Jordan Davis in November of 2012. His death made headlines when he was shot and killed in Florida after an argument broke out over loud music coming from a car Davis and friends were in. Michael Dunn, who had a concealed weapons permit, argued with the group of teens. Dunn said he saw a weapon and, fearing for his life, started firing. Davis would die after being hit in the legs, lungs, and aorta. Dunn's defense, Florida's Stand Your Ground law. The judge declared a mistrial after a jury was unable to return a unanimous verdict on a charge of first-degree murder. Dunn was convicted on 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder for firing on the 3 other teenagers who were with Davis and on 1 count of firing into a vehicle. Retried, Dunn was found guilty for first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. Leslie McSpadden's son, Michael Brown, was shot and killed by a Ferguson, Missouri police officer. Her 18-year-old son, Michael, was confronted by an officer who said he was stopping Brown after a call about a robbery. An altercation ensued, and Brown would be shot and killed. His body would lay in the street for hours, and questions about the shooting arose. The shooting would spark days of rioting and national attention. After controversial deliberation, the grand jury decided not to indict the officer who shot and killed Brown. I started with this question. Is there ever a day since the killing you don't think about it?
Absolutely not. Each and every day I think about my son, and so that's why it's so strange to me when people walk up to me and they remind me about a case that I know so very well. They always tell me about my son with the hoodie on, and he wasn't doing anything wrong, and they tell me their opinion. But I think about this every day. It's my life.
I wake up every day thinking about him and thinking about maybe I could have changed the situation. So for a long time, I, blame myself for what had happened to him.
I see all of you shaking your head. Leslie, let me ask you, have you found any normalcy in life? Or is normalcy different now for you?
It's very different. Nothing is normal anymore. And doing this type of thing with these women and more women that can relate to what we are feeling every day, that has become a new normal.
You agree?
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing that I wake up to every morning is that Jordan is not here. That is my new normal.
Are there mornings that you look for him?
Every day I look for Jordan. Every day I wake up and I know that I don't hear him kicking his shoes around in his bedroom, or I don't hear the music playing so loudly in his room, or I don't have his friends that are, falling through the door and kicking their shoes off by the door and sitting in the den or sleeping on the floor or sleeping in his bed. That is all gone, and that I'm reminded of every single day.
I see all of you kind of fighting back tears at this point. Do you cry still?
I still cry.
He should have never been killed. It should have never happened. And again, it is something that I have to live with, for the rest of my life.
What about you? Do you cry at home by yourself still?
I cry in front of everybody. But I do have 3 other children. And I try to only show them my strengths. But dealing with this it's a family issue for us. And it's hard not to express myself in front of them.
Sabrina, you have become, to a great degree, one of the prominent faces of the movement.
With us.
I think a lot of people look to you as a pillar of strength. You present yourself in a certain way, but I'm sure there are days. Talk to me about those days where you're in your 4 walls and you have to find ways by yourself to deal with this.
I can remember recently in May of this year was a really, really bad day, for me, and when I looked on my dresser, I saw a picture of Trayvon, and I folded the picture down because I thought that every time I looked at the picture, it would just make me cry even more. So I felt if I didn't see the picture, then I wouldn't be so sad because I just woke up in a sad day. It was just a rainy day. It was a storm for me. Everybody's happy but me. You know, I just felt like I was in my own world, just like I'm just boxed in. It's just raining on my head, and the sun is shining for everybody, and I'm just the sad one, you know. I got home, put on my pajamas, got back in the bed, cried some more, prayed some more, went to sleep. And when I got up the next morning, I felt so much better.
I asked them to share the moment that changed their lives forever. How did they learn of their child's death?
I received a call from Trayvon's father. I was at work, you know, I can say that the impact did not affect me immediately. It took time for it to like marinate in my mind, just like, did he say what I thought he just said? Did he say my son? Not my son. My heart stopped beating. My mind stopped working. Just my world just stopped.
Wanda Johnson received a call from her son's fiance alerting her that Wanda's son Oscar had been shot. Wanda rushed to the hospital and was told her child was gravely wounded and the team was trying to save his life and that he was in surgery.
I went into the chapel and I began to pray unto God. God, just let him live. Don't let him die. And I came out of the chapel and the nurse ran back to me and said, you need to come quick. And they couldn't stop the bleeding.
Was it for you? How did you find out? I was at work as well. And while I was on the phone, my line clicked. And it was my sister. And so I clicked over. Said hello. But she was just crying. And I said hello. She said, they just shot my mind. And I just threw the phone. I just screamed out. Somebody just shot my son. And when I got there, I just saw police cars. Just all police cars. And I got out and I started running again. I was looking for one person. And I seen him. I asked him over and over, is that my son? He wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't tell me nothing. But calm down and be quiet. That's how I found out.
Lucia McBath was in Chicago visiting relatives for Thanksgiving.
And I saw my phone laying on top of the dresser, and I saw Jordan's father's face pop up. And I picked up the phone and I said, hey, Ron, how are you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. And he said, well, go get Earl. And Earl's my cousin. And I was like, well, why do I need to go get Earl? And he said, go get Earl. And I said, why do I need to go get Earl? Where's Jordan? And there was just this silence on the phone. It was just deafening silence. And I said, where's Jordan? And he said, Jordan's been shot. I just started screaming and I said, where is Jordan? Is he okay? And he said, I need you to get on the first plane and come down here. And by the fact that he just even had to say that, I knew that moment that Jordan was dead. I knew he was dead. And every fear that you have for your child, that when they walk out that door, you can't protect them and you can't watch over them, and then they're exposed to the reality of this world, that all comes crashing down on you at one time. And I just felt like I failed. And I remember at that moment the discussion that I had with Jordan about Trayvon. At the end of the discussion, I remember saying to him, Jordan, people will not value you because you were young, black and a male, and you have to be careful. And Jordan kept saying, Mom, that won't happen to me. That won't happen to me. I can protect myself. I can take care of myself. And that haunts me for the rest of my life, because at that very moment I felt like he couldn't protect himself. There was nothing he could do.
Up next,
What is in their heart? Do they think when I become a teenager, I'm going to be killed by the police? That breaks my heart.
the money team's Isha Sugar City Smith squares off with a Brooklyn